Episode 1, Red Light, Green Light. The series begins by introducing Song Gi-hum, a middle-aged man struggling with debt, poverty, and personal failures. Living with his sick mother, Ji-hun is a compulsive gambler who steals money and loses it on horse races. His ex-wife has remarried, and his young daughter, whom he loves deeply, is about to move to the United States with her stepfather. Soho! Woho! Yoho! One day, Gi-hun meets a mysterious man at a subway station who offers him a chance to play a simple childhood game, dakji, for money. After winning and receiving his reward, Gi-hun is given an invitation to join a much bigger and more mysterious game with an enormous cash prize. Desperate to escape his financial woes, Gi-hun agrees, but Ji-hun wakes up in a massive, isolated facility with 455 other participants, all of whom are similarly desperate individuals drowning in debt. Players are informed they will compete in 6 games, with elimination for those who lose. Initially, the stakes aren't clear until the first game, Red Light, Green Light, begins. Players must cross a field without moving when a large robotic doll calls, "Red Light!" So, the large doll calls Red Light. Those caught moving are brutally executed, revealing the deadly nature of the competition. Gi-hun narrowly survives the game as panic spreads among the players. Analysis. The first episode sets the stage for the series, juxtaposing the innocence of childhood games with the grim reality of survival. Ji-hun's flaws make him a relatable anti-hero, while the brutality of the game establishes the high stakes and dark tone of the show. Episode 2, Hell. After the horrifying revelations of the first game, players are given a choice, continue or leave. A democratic vote is held, and by a narrow margin, the majority chooses to leave. However, many of them quickly realize that life outside the game is just as cruel. Ji-hun discovers that his mother needs an expensive surgery for diabetes complications. Meanwhile, his childhood friend, Cho Sang-woo, a once promising businessman, faces arrest due to massive fraud. North Korean defector Kang Se-byak needs money to reunite her family, and gangster Jung Dok-soo is hunted by loan sharks. As players confront their dire situations, many decide to return voluntarily. Ji-hun, Sang-woo, Se-byak, and others re-enter the game, knowing the risks but lured by the promise of the massive prize. Analyzes. This episode contrasts the horrors of the game with the harsh realities of the players' lives. It poses the central question of the series: is life outside the game any better than the game itself? Episode 3, The Man with the Umbrella. The second game begins, and players are presented with a seemingly simple task: carve a shape out of a honeycomb candy without breaking it. They must choose from 4 shapes: a circle, triangle, star, or umbrella. Ji-hun, unaware of the difficulty, picks the umbrella. As the game progresses, panic spreads. Many players break their shapes, leading to immediate execution. Ji-hun uses his wits to survive by licking the candy to weaken the edges. Meanwhile, alliances start to form, with Se-byak and Sang-woo showing signs of strategic thinking. A subplot unfolds as a police officer, Hwang Jun-ho, infiltrates the game facility to search for his missing brother. Subplot. Analysis. This episode highlights the importance of strategy and adaptability. It also begins to explore themes of trust and betrayal as players form alliances to increase their chances of survival. Episode 4, Stick to the Team. Tensions rise as players realize that their survival depends not just on winning games, but also on defending themselves. After lights go out in the dormitory, a brutal fight breaks out. Deok-soo leads a group of violent players who attack others to eliminate competition. Ah-hun's group, including Sang-woo, Se-byak, an elderly man named Oh Il-nam, and a Pakistani migrant worker named Ali Abdul, bands together for protection. Trust among teammates becomes essential. The night reinforces the psychological toll of the game, as players realize they are not just fighting the system, but also each other. Analysts. This episode delves into the breakdown of social order. It examines how desperation and fear push people to their limits, blurring the line between morality and survival. Episode 5, A Fair World. The third game, Tug of War, requires players to form teams of 10. Ji-hun's team is at a disadvantage, as it includes weaker members like Ilnam and Sabyok. However, Ilnam's strategic advice and Sangwoo's quick thinking lead them to an unlikely victory. Meanwhile, Junho uncovers more about the game's organizers while posing as one of the guards. He learns that the games are designed to entertain wealthy VIPs who gamble on the outcomes. Analysis. This episode emphasizes teamwork and intellect over brute strength. It also provides a glimpse into the larger system behind the games, introducing the theme of exploitation for the amusement of the rich. Episode 6, Gaganbu. In one of the most emotionally devastating episodes, players are paired off to play marbles. However, the game pits them against their partners, forcing them to compete directly. The stakes are life and death. Ji-hun is paired with Ilnam, whom he initially tries to protect, but as the game progresses, Gi-hun manipulates Ilnam's fading memory to win, leaving him racked with guilt. Sang-woo betrays Eli by tricking him into handing over his marbles, while Sae-byok bonds with her partner, only to watch her sacrifice herself. Analysis. This episode explores the moral dilemmas of survival. It asks whether self-preservation justifies betrayal, highlighting the emotional toll of the competition. Episode 7, VIPs. The fourth game, Glass Stepping Stones, requires players to cross a bridge of tempered and regular glass, with one misstep leading to death. The order is decided by drawing numbers, forcing players to choose between going first, middle, or last. As panic grows, players push each other to test the glass. End quote. When players push each other to test the glass, the order is Sang-woo commits another act of betrayal by shoving a teammate to their death. Only Gi-hun, Sang-woo, and Sae-byok survive. Meanwhile, the VIPs, a group of wealthy gamblers, arrive to watch the games in person, further emphasizing the dehumanization of the players. Analysis. This episode critiques the voyeurism and exploitation of the powerless by the wealthy. It also deepens the divide between Sang-woo and Ji-hun, as Sang-woo becomes increasingly ruthless. Episode 8, Frontman. The survivors are given a final meal before the last game. Sabyok, gravely injured from the glass bridge, begs Ji-hun to look after her family if she dies. Sang-woo kills her in her sleep, cementing his role as the antagonist. Junho is discovered and confronts the frontman, the mysterious leader of the games. In a shocking twist, the frontman is revealed to be Junho's missing brother. Junho is shot and falls into the ocean. Analysis. This episode highlights the cost of ambition and betrayal. It also adds a layer of mystery about the frontman and his motives. Episode 9, One Lucky Day. The final game is the titular Squid Game, a brutal fight between Ji-hyun and Sang-woo. Despite having the upper hand, Ji-hyun refuses to kill Sang-woo, offering him a chance to surrender. Sang-woo, overwhelmed by guilt, takes his own life, allowing Ji-hun to win. Ji-hun returns home with the prize money but struggles with guilt and depression. A year later, he discovers that Ilnam was the mastermind behind the games, created as entertainment for the wealthy. Before Ilnam dies, he challenges Ji-hun to retain his humanity in a corrupt world. In the final scene, Ji-hun decides to confront the organizers instead of boarding a flight to reunite with his daughter. Yeah? Analysis. The finale ties together the series' themes of morality, capitalism, and human decency. Ji-hun's transformation signals hope amid despair, leaving room for further exploration.